All right, guys, a little video. I was thinking the other day, I wonder what people in the future are going to think about us. I wonder what they're going to think about this time, roughly since, the 90s there, 2000s, of course, because September 11th. People are going to look back in history, and they're going to want to know exactly what happened. And who was it written out by? Who was it? Who controlled the history? Okay? And so we know who they are. And they're going to write in those books, and they already do. When you look back on September 11th videos, you always get the streamer that tells you that it's a conspiracy theory and it's unfounded and that the official narrative is this. And they take you to Wikipedia or wherever, and they show you the real timeline that they came out with. And those of us that really have known and looked into it know that it's all horseshit. Straight up, okay? But that's the history that all the goy read and understand now, okay? Just 19, 20 years on. That's exactly what's going to happen 19, 20 years on with this, isn't it? With this COVID and this race stuff and everything that's going to transpire. They're going to talk in the same way we talk about September 11th now, which is a divisive fight about who did what and this and that. And just like they did the Kennedy, just like they did the OKC bombings, all of them, it's all up in the air as to why, because they obfuscate the truth with all the disinformation that they can. And people, it creates a reasonable doubt. We've talked about reasonable doubt on my channel. Okay? So with all the reasonable doubt raised, on September 11th, and it clouds us. And why does, and same with this, 2020, they're going to look back and it's cloudy to all of us now as to exactly what's happening. And that's because you're in the middle of a history rewrite. There's going to be a reset. And when it does, they have to have all their history already written so that people, whenever they read about it, will get exactly what they wanted it to be. And that's what we're going to see. So that kid and whoever in 2050 is going to say, oh, yeah, so what happened? And the little thing's going to tell them. Well, in 2020, they had a global pandemic, and it was called COVID-19. And people were put on lockdown, prison term. They were put on lockdown, and they had to social distance, and there was a bunch of stuff that went on with it, and all these new things came out because of it. Everyone's lives were changed. And right at the precipice of winning and beating out this hoax they won't say hoax, but this COVID, right at that, this white guy put his knee on the back of a black man's neck. A couple of Freemasons doing a hoax right in the middle of the street for the cameras. But people will see the clip and believe it and say, well, and then as a result of this, mass craziness went across the whole planet, the whole globe, because people were tired of all the racial. You see where this is going, guys? They put all those Muslims and all those blacks in all these countries over the last 40, 50 years and flooded us, okay? Because they had this plan, this COINTELPRO plan, and they flooded us. And so then what happens is and this is how it works, guys. What happens is that you pull one of these stunts, like I've been talking about it, your racial hoax and your psyop. You pull a stunt, and you pull the grand, Mason stunt of them all, and you do this Floyd one, okay? You do that, and then what do you got? Well, that is the one that triggered the whole wide world to say, oh, we can't take it no more. And now we see white people bowing before the blacks and screaming, I'm sorry for all this stuff they had nothing to do with, okay? And so that's what happens. And people in the future are going to see that, and they're going to buy it, and they're going to believe it, and it'll be nothing more. Our time right now, the history they're writing currently is not going to be more than a blip on a screen in front of a video or a headline or, guys, that's exactly what's up. You're living in the middle of history being written by the tribe, by the Masons, they are the ones that own the textbook printing corporations, and they teach our children, they own the banks, and they own the media, and they're the ones that are going to tell everybody what the history was, guys. Me and you don't get to tell the history. So every time your channel gets shown or your videos get taken down and you wonder why, just know that your narrative went against the official narrative, and therefore your narrative and your story of what you really saw and what you thought, it's discounted to nothing because it didn't go along with what they wanted, which was a complete, total world domination. Boot to the back of the neck forever. Okay? It's all been written. It's all been known. So, that was what I was thinking the other day. What a thought, right? But, guys, that's what it is. I say all these reset channels and your John Levi's and whatnot. They can tell you that these resets happen, and they can even show you how they happen, but they never tell you why. They never do go into that because they don't know. But now you know, okay? You know that you're in the middle of history, and that's why it seems like, wow, it seems like they're making this shit up as they go. Exactly. That's what they're doing. So, if you can think out in terms like that, if you can think of these things in those terms, then you can start to wrap your head around how big this conspiracy is, okay? And that's exactly what it is. More than one person conspiracy, look up the definition of it. Acting in accord with each other in secrecy to pull off a stunt. I mean, conspiracy theorists might have been a term they made up for people who were looking into the JFK stuff, but it doesn't make it any less real. If me and you wanted to go do something in the middle of the hood and go deliver, a pound of dope to the crack house, they'd arrest us for conspiracy to commit whatever, however they say it. So they believe in conspiracy, but you can't. No way. That's subversive. Listen to your Yuri videos, your Bezmenov, I believe. He told us how this would all go down too, and that they'd use Marxist craziness and Jewish bullshit to take over the Western world, attack the white woman, the sacred white woman, make all the men cucks. It's all happening right in front of your face. History's being written, guys. So, nice black pill for you first thing in the morning. But I'll come out with something different, guys. It's just, that was the way I felt. Just disjointed as it is. So, everybody try to have a good day. I mean, please do that. Send off good vibes and try. I know that's almost impossible to do right now, but you can. You can look at it all and say, hey, he's right. It is a big, huge hoax. And they are doing craziness out in the streets for the cameras. And man, this is what they will show in the future. He's right, man. Okay. So there you go, guys. Let's get it together.